I was talking to my friend Travis the other day. He's a bit of a day game master, and is actually using one of our cameras right now to get a bunch of footage, and we were talking about the process by which you get a girl to ask for your number. It's a fun turn of the screw. As men, it's within our gender role to ask for the number, and for as long as I've been at this, I'd say that I'm the one taking the number 80% of the time. In the long run it doesn't make a difference, you still have to follow up well, but pulling it off means you're making great progress in your game. So let's start by asking ourselves, what would make a woman want to take your number? A. She's so enamored with your life and your world that she wants to be a part of it. B. She feels such a strong connection to you that she couldn't imagine it not continuing. C. She's feeling incredible chemistry with you and wants to feel it again. Any of the same could be said for solid numbers that you take from women. So how do you set it up such that she's the one who asks you? One key principle: doing a lot with a little. The dynamic of the interaction needs to be such that she's doing most of the work. You are going to be leading it with some bait and some questions, but you will do very little talking about your own life. There is something of an ad hoc formula to this. 1. You start by baiting. You casually mention something about your life that really connects with whatever she just said, in a very high-value sort of way. It can't just be bragging, it genuinely has to demonstrate that you know what she's talking about. 2. She asks you about the bait. 3. You screen her on it. 4. You screen her again. 5. You screen her a third time. 6. You keep screening until it makes sense to stop. 7. You reluctantly qualify her, and finally answer her question. 8. Future project, or include her in your life in some way. Let me give you an example, from the first time I consciously saw this happening. It came about when I was talking about myself. Later on, I'll show you how to use this in your own life. You might know that I DJ from time to time in Manhattan. I've done some private parties, and a few cool venues, but I've never been in rotation at a huge club. So while being a DJ is generally an asset when it comes to talking to girls, my particular experience isn't noteworthy. It's more of a hobby. I also don't like to BS girls, so rather than give full answers, I'd rather be evasive and turn the conversation back on her. Here's how it played out. I was talking with a girl about parties. Me: yeah, I DJ'd the last party we threw. It was a great time, tons of people, went really late. You notice that the only thing about me in there is the bait, that I DJ. Everything else is just factual stuff. Her: wait, you DJ, where do you play? This is her taking the bait. Me: yeah, I do. What kind of music do you like to dance to? Notice that I intentionally avoided her second question, and rather than self-indulgently telling her everything about myself, which I couldn't do anyway in this case, I turned it around and asked a screening question. Her: oh I don't know, I like everything. Me: everyone says that. What's your favorite song to dance to right now? Her: oh song name. Me: yeah, I love that one. People always go nuts to it. Okay, so you're into hip hop, have you heard song name? Her: yeah, I love that one too. Me: hey, nice. What does it take to get you to dance on a couch at a club? At this point, I am taking the conversation from topical, song preferences, to personal, stuff about her personality. Your screens should go in this direction. Her: oh, you know, some good music, some fun people and a few shots. Me: that's it? Tease. How often do you go out? Her: oh, maybe 1 or 2 nights a week. Me: cool, so enough to make your promoters happy. So what are your favorite spots? Her: well, last few times I went out I was at Pink Elephant and One Oak. Me: no kidding. Man, I had no idea you were so cool. I'd love to have you join some of our parties. This is the qualification, finally. Her: haha, thanks. So wait, where do you play? Me: oh, I do a lot of private parties. I've done a few other spots. I was doing Empire Hotel for a bit. Fun time, have you been? Her: yeah, I've been there. Wait, so are you a full-time DJ? Me, no, it's just a hobby, I have a real job too. Wait, what do you do for work? Her, I'm a. Her job. Do you see the trajectory here? It's screen after screen after screen on my part. I demonstrated some value and authority in the very beginning. And my questions continued to do so. In fact, she has to really work to get any information out of me, while volunteering a lot of her own. But she wants to volunteer it because the right questions are being asked. I'm demonstrating a real interest in her, and showing no need to validate myself to her. And critically, I'm not doing any me too answers. Anytime I relate to her, it shows that I empathize with and understand her and her world, but because I haven't explicitly stated anything about my personal experiences and preferences, they remain something of a mystery. The only times I talk about myself are at the beginning and the end. And at the end, when she asks if I'm full-time, I mention that I have another job, then immediately turn it around on her. Yet another thing I had to learn to do accidentally: you can't just come out and tell people that you run a company that is the real-life version of Hitch. It's all they want to talk about. So right now you might be thinking, well, this is well and good, but I'm not a DJ and I don't run a company like The Social Man, so how can I do this? Well, here's another time it happened. This time we were talking about cheeseburgers. She had mentioned that she absolutely loves burgers. Me, yeah, New York has some of the best burger joints in the world. I think I've been to them all. Bait. Her, so what's your favorite? Me, there are two that really tie for me, I can never decide. Shake Shack is one of them, have you been? More bait. Her, oh my god, yes. It's so good. Me, so what burger you order when you go there? Her, it's always the same, double cheeseburger. Me, can't do anything else. Fries, shake. Her, it depends, you know, I've got to watch my girlish figure. Me, yeah, I was gonna say, eyeing her up and down, doesn't look like you eat burgers all the time. How often do you work out? Screen. Her, like 4 or 5 times a week. Me, nice, morning or evening? Her, usually after work. I just can't do it in the mornings. Me, yeah, plus when you do it after work you can work off the burger you had for lunch and you feel so much better about yourself. Her, I know, wait, so you said there was another spot you like? Me, yeah, Soho Park. Have you been there? Her, no, where is it? Me, what? How can you call yourself a burger lover and not have eaten there? Screen. Her, I don't know. I feel like I'm committing a sin. Me, you almost are. But you definitely know your burgers. You should go down there sometime so you can absolve yourself. Qualification. Her, well, you'd have to tell me, or show me, where it is. Me, well, you'd have to get in touch with me for that to happen. Smiling, of course. This one isn't quite as linear as the last one. A new subject appeared, exercising. But notice how she brought it back to the original thread? There was some suspense and intrigue, not quite as much as with the DJing, but enough to bring it back. And it didn't take much for her to volunteer herself for a date. So what, again, is the formula? 1. Volunteer a small amount of information about yourself. 2. Don't answer her questions directly. Screen and screen and screen. 3. Eventually, qualify her. 4. Subtly suggest a way to bring her into your life. In the former example, I told her she'd fit in at our parties. In the latter example, I teed it up, and she took the swing. Now, how to go from this to getting her to ask for your number? Simple, do this same pattern 2 to 3 times in a conversation. That is, connect on something important to her, show genuine interest and comprehension of her world with the questions you ask, and don't talk about yourself too much. When she indicates that she wants to be a part of your world, which she probably will if you've been fun and have intrigued her enough, you just flirtatiously suggest that she should make it happen. Of course, when she takes your number, I suggest that you have her call you. And unless she's completely throwing herself at you, establish the protocol for who will follow up with who. So tell ya what, text me tomorrow and we'll set up a time to go down there. Okay, so if I don't hear from you by tomorrow I'm gonna call you and we'll set something up. This whole sequence, this style of conversation, is something you should be working on anyway. I always get into trouble when I talk too much. There is some fun, flirtatious stuff you can throw in along the way, but the foundation here is solid, and that's what's going to work no matter who you're talking to,